Hey there, welcome back. So today, I'd like to just talk about what I read. The information pamphlet called "In Times of Illness," which is a Narcotics Anonymous piece of information. Anyways, the book is right here, and it's very insightful. But I think it's really important at the same time. Uh, and today, I'd like to talk about what our responsibilities are to our medical health professionals, doctors, nurses, dentists, right after this. We are responsible for our recovery, but there are many times that when a team of health care workers, providers will administer our medical care, we have a right and a responsibility to participate as an equal partner by informing our health care providers of our needs. So it is vital to carefully consider all options presented to us. Professionals will have difficulties providing us with adequate care unless we are honest with them. We apply basic safeguards that will protect our recovery when we are seeing medical professional. It is usually in our best interest to inform them that we are recovering addicts. This is intensely important. I don't know how many addicts uh, for those of you that are out there and wondering about this kind of information, are you following the basic steps, informing, our doctors, our practitioners, dentists, all of whom are very, segmented. And don't get me wrong, they are comfortable with administering um, medications very strong, or to maybe different kinds. However, uh, they are very segmented into giving us what they standardized to give an individual when coming in for medical care. You receive pain, you get a painkiller. You have an infection, antibiotics. Your doctors are well informed of recovering addicts that are out there, like us, or myself, and like you, but they don't always see that in everyday people that come in every day. So what they do is they provide what they believe is the adequate care or administer the proper dosage of medication for an individual, regardless of who comes into the doors. Now, when I first got into recovery, I had a family doctor or family practitioner who was well aware of my addiction, because to go to a recovery home, I needed him to sign off papers, and most people may have done that in this case, but not everybody. But I know in my case it was, and he would fill out all the information, and he we came to a conclusion while we were in a consultation kind of sitting, that a lot of my ailments were brought on due to my addiction, my drugs and my disease and all that. And and he would prescribe me the proper, or even just guide me into what I could do to make sure to avoid taking strong medications, like painkillers, narcotics, like over the counter, maybe ibuprofens and things like that. But he would provide me with better guidance so that I wouldn't fall into that foxhole and and just slide down the pit. But at this point, he was there. Now fast forward to where I am today. A few years ago, I ended up getting an infection in my lower jaw, and I was only prescribed uh, oral antibiotics because it was a pretty severe infection. It wasn't working. My immune system was low. I ended up in a hospital. And when I was in the hospital, I ended up in progressive care. I needed to be hooked up to heart monitors and everything because my throat was swollen up to out here. And it was a scary moment. Like, I never wanted to end up in a hospital. And I'm pretty sure not everybody wants to end up in a hospital. But I was so out of it, out of, sick, out of sorts. It was very sudden. And I ended up in there for, several days in a row. And at which point, when I was able to talk and was able to reach out to, friends and things like that, it ended up where I already had been administered narcotics intravenously, um, to stabilize my recovery in a medical sense. Um, it wasn't something that I had by choice. It was something that, you know, after I realized that I was administered narcotics and, um, to stabilize my body and to keep me from distress, from catastrophic distress, I was completely in full fear. However, I was assured when I reached out, I thought my recovery was gone. I absolutely thought my recovery was totally wiped out and I had to start all over again. But it was because I didn't ask for this medication. My body was in complete distress. I was not coherent. Um, my I was actually pretty much out. And you know, coming clean with that and realizing that no, I didn't ask for that, and I didn't ask for that specific medication. I didn't pull on a nurse's arm saying, "Give this to me." I wasn't. I was completely unconscious. My body was in distress, hooked up to monitors, alarms going off, I guess, all these sorts of things. And it was a life saving situation, I believe, from my understanding, because that's what I was advised. These are circumstances which I understand that today, because I, even though I'm a recovering drug addict, and I did make that aware to the professionals. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't advise every nurse that was on duty through the times I was in the hospital, and they, the nurses were good, and they're not the ones that were going to give me the medication unless guided by the proper doctor on staff or whoever it is. But my file explained everything from my understanding, that who I was in my past and all that. And that's what our responsibility is, to make sure, to avoid, say, hey, if I ask for this, don't give it to me unless, you're not supposed to, unless the doctor says you absolutely have to have it. And I made it through the rest of the time. But anyways, just getting through that recovery at that point, I did feel a short time of experience that I lost my recovery, my clean time. I thought I lost my sobriety. But I was assured by another recovering addict that you didn't. After explaining everything to him, that no, I didn't pull on somebody's arm. I didn't ask for it. I didn't say I need this. And when I really didn't, I was at that point where my body was in desperate need for something to get through that night. And and it was a very much emergency touch and go situation. I don't like seeing it that way, but that's what it was. Fast forwarding, or I'm going to bring up another experience as well, as being that in former health care providers. I had an experience where I was in the hospital and emergency situation for what we call my chronic, one of my chronic ailments, which is gout, or arthritis, spike in arthritis pain that is so incredible that it's pretty painful. However, anyways, while waiting for that, I'd seen another recovering addict who came in, and he very fresh off, off the street, recovering addict, very very new. Um, this angered me to a point, and this is an experience I like to share, um, because I didn't have that much clean time. I had approximately a year of sobriety, and while waiting there, this individual perceived in before me got, administered before me for I don't know exactly what ailment. He was complaining about pain, pain, pain. And I said that, there's alternative pain medicines and stuff like that. And this is before I was aware of this literature, but I did know that it was a responsibility to advise, hospitals, medical professionals about our history. I was at the hospital, and this fresh off the street addict. I truly, this is how I felt, how I believe, and it angered me so much. I felt used, I felt manipulated in the circumstances. What I do know is that he spoke to the healthcare professionals, the nurses, the emergency medical care individuals, advised him that, oh, my sponsor's here, and he said it's okay to take this drug or this type of medication, but which was a narcotic, obviously, because I'm there. And I didn't realize this until they brought me in on his situation, and I felt cornered. However, when I did have an opportunity to sit alone, because they brought him to a little section, a little booth where they were going to look after him, I was brought to the counter, and I advised them that I am not his sponsor, and yes, he is a recovering addict, and I did not say it was okay to take any narcotic drug or anything like that. So it is up to the hospital at this point and their responsibility to make sure that he's administered proper medication. I truly believe that this circumstances are where someone took advantage of a situation to manipulate, change, whatever it may be. And I felt, like I said, angered. So I shared that, with my recovering family, and they, I'm let go, right? I feel like I did the right thing. So I do believe that anybody like yourself, if you are in a situation like that where you go into a hospital and you need to be prescribed something, just think about it, how responsible you are. Make sure you lead into that. Look, you know, before you prescribe me any medication, is it narcotic? I am sober. I've been a drug addict years ago or last week, whatever it may be. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just let them know that you're trying to be clean today and you're trying to be sober or whatever it may be, and you don't want a narcotic if they don't have to give you one, and if you absolutely don't need to have it. And if you do, if you have a family member, somebody that's responsible in your family, or somebody that's in your recovering family, then you can have one of them, like what we call a sponsor, just here go, this will be enough for you to keep going for the day or for the week or whatever it is, or for the couple days. Usually what it is, a good idea is just to get enough to get you through a short spurt of time. That way you don't fall in that trap in case you do get into the mindful relapse situation. Now, I haven't, like I said, I haven't been in that situation where I have been prescribed a narcotic after leaving hospitals. Everything that I've had was taken care either in a hospital or in a dentist office. And I even had a dentist that prescribed me an oral narcotic. And when I went to the pharmacy, it was very easy, cut and clear. I said to the pharmacist, "Look, even though this person this dentist provided me the oral surgeon, I truly don't want those. Um, what else do you recommend over the counter?" And there's alternatives, and sometimes bypassing a situation like that, I can honestly say, we'd be surprised how fast our bodies heal if we treat them properly with ingesting good food, uh, maybe a good routine exercise or fitness, or just being healthy, and our bodies do heal faster. It's pretty amazing. So we really, really only need pain medications in short time. If it's long term situation, then it's obviously something that we've damaged our bodies detrimentally over long term of time. But I do believe that we can get through. Our bodies can heal itself, and it's pretty amazing. So in this book, it does have a really good information. But today, I just wanted to touch base on you know how important it is in our role of why we need to inform medical professionals, because most cases medical professionals are just going to prescribe a pain reliever or painkiller or whatever it is, some kind of pain medication, and with that is detrimental to our recovery or to our sobriety, and will alter our moods and our minds to the point where we are going to relapse, and we don't want that, and I'm pretty sure you don't want that. So that's it for today, and uh, keep in mind that information, that, like I said, today is in times of illness day, and or in this video, and we are responsible for our recovery, but we're not responsible for a disease. And addiction is something that we don't want to mess around with, because this is a mental disorder that you know we definitely got to keep an eye on, and make sure we just keep ourselves in straight and narrow. However, I'm just rambling on, and I do appreciate if any of you are watching this video to, if you find any value in it, subscribe, and it would be very you know grateful. However, today I'm going to let you guys go. See you in the next video. Have a great day.